Hi, and welcome to Synergy Life Brokerage's weekly webinar, hosted today by Stephanie Alberlisi and Josh Pelletier. We wanted to talk to you about the best practices in today's challenging environment and how you can help your clients. So we're just going to dig right into our presentation. And we wanted to talk to you, obviously we're living in unprecedented times. And it's really, as we're starting to get used to this new normal, which I really hesitate to use, we're really trying to figure out ways that we can reach out to our clients and not only just be human, but also continue the conversation and dialogue about their planning and the needs that they have. And in this environment, as we're starting to find, there's a lot of apprehension around having obviously an examiner come to your house or having an exam done for a life insurance case. So what we've decided to talk about today is ways around that particular situation, and what types of things can we talk to clients to make sure their families are protected long term, that may not necessarily be wrapped around having a physical, an exam. So to start out, let's talk about term conversions. Right now, that clients that are on the end of their term periods on their level term really should take into consideration what their planning needs are going to be for the next few months, years, weeks, all of the things into the future that I think we felt was that has some a little uncertainty wrapped around it. So most of the companies that have you buy a term policy through have a product that you can convert to. Some of them are better than others. Most of them you can convert to a single product in their portfolio, and there's others that you actually have an opportunity to convert to anything in their portfolio. And while we're finding right now that we're living in unprecedented times, and the insurance companies are trying to find ways to continue to keep writing life insurance applications in business, it's a great way to talk to the client to say, you have a policy, a term policy with this carrier. Here's exactly what it would look like if you wanted to convert it for the next 10 or for 15 or 20 years that may be wrapped around with guaranteed premiums. This is exactly the type of consideration we like to say have happened. So that's one opportunity to talk to your clients about. The other opportunity is taking advantage of the low pricing for guaranteed UL market. What exactly does that mean? Well, we're living in a zero interest rate environment at the moment. Interest rates have been low for a very, very long time. The insurance companies have to reserve large amounts of money in order to pay claims. And so a lot of the insurance companies have decided to relook at their current insurance portfolio and figure out whether or not the pricing makes sense. We know for a fact that coming up in the next week, one of the large insurance companies is going to reprice their product pretty significantly on their individual guaranteed UL. So why does that matter? Well, if you've been having conversations with your clients for over the last, 6 months, 8 months, a year, and the clients have kind of said, well, let me wait, let me see. I'm not really sure if I want to commit to this right now. Well, there's no time like today to go back and say, the price is going up, 8, 10, 20%. It's a really great opportunity to lock in on a guaranteed premium for the rest of your life at this rate. So feel free to reach out to Josh or to myself or to someone at Synergy to help you kind of navigate which companies are having some pricing changes, what the transition rules wrapped around them are, and then what the underwriting of that would look like, because based on certain death benefits and age of the clients, there might be a fluidless option that makes sense. Another opportunity that we want to talk about is whole life. Lots of you out there talk about it day to day with your clients. Some focus on IULs, some focus on variable, but some focus on term or UL, but really wanted to get back to looking at whole life as a critical piece of someone's portfolio, right? Most of the carriers out there that are all the mutuals have some sort of fluidless underwriting program that would help with the ease of doing business on a whole life plan. The other part of it is that the whole life dividends are somewhere between the 5.5% to 6% range. Will that continue going forward? We don't know. One would think that the dividend will continue to fall. It usually lags the market over the next few years. But if nothing else, the client is locking themselves in with an automatic savings plan where they're able to put money into the whole life that will grow with a dividend for X amount of years and then have the opportunity to provide tax-free income at retirement. So those are certain options that you want to make sure that you're having with your clients, especially if they're looking at maybe possibly some term insurance. You may want to take a look at it, maybe diversifying it, some whole life, some term, or diversifying it with some whole life, some IUL, especially buying low in the market right now on the S&P 500. It is absolutely advantageous to do it, but you might just want to split up the risks. Another opportunity that we have had tremendous traction with is hybrid long-term care. Hybrid long-term care does not need an exam. It is a phone interview. It is something that majority of the clients ages 50 and older are taking a look at. And why are they taking a look? Because it's taking their $1 and turning it into $4 for long-term care. It's really protecting their assets, protecting their portfolio, especially in times of volatility like today, where they're able to know that they have a guaranteed long-term care bucket of money should they ever need it. The conversation used to be, well, I may not need it. Now, with the world that we're living in, we can totally understand that there is a possibility of what would we do if we needed it, and where would we go for that? And so we're finding that the hybrids really protect the clients with a guaranteed premium, a guaranteed death benefit, and a guaranteed long-term care bucket of money. So that if the client never uses that long-term care, there is a death benefit. They will get their money back and a little bit more to their beneficiaries on a tax-free basis. So it really, I always find it's a hard argument to say, what don't you like about this plan? But right now, there's also an opportunity for folks who do have some qualified money that we were talking about the Secure Act, and that's been, obviously all of a sudden we've kind of shifted away from the opportunities within the Secure Act. But now we really want to take a look at, if you have a lot of qualified money, how can you utilize that money to pay for your long-term care policy? Reach out to Synergy. We'd be happy to show you the carriers and the options that they have and how exactly it gets fully underwritten. The next thing is informal cases, and Synergy Life Brokerage is here to help you, here to help your clients. And so for the clients that are really interested in making sure that they apply for life insurance today, get themselves in a position where they're going to protect their families, but don't qualify necessarily for an accelerated underwriting program or a fluidless underwriting program or a term conversion process, we really want to say, listen, get the applications, take them in. Let's talk and get the APS records, because right now a lot of the doctors, folks that do the medical records, are working from home, so we're able to get records still. We're seeing a delay, but we're not seeing it where it's completely shut off. And then hopefully within the next, I'd say few weeks, but hopefully in the next coming months, we would have the opportunity to take an exam with an examiner when they feel comfortable, and then that case would be ready to go so that they can get themselves, insured as soon as possible. So these are the types of planning discussions that Synergy is having in the marketplace, and we'd be happy to discuss you and your client's personal situation. But right now, let's turn it over to Josh, who's going to tell us a little bit about the ease of processing business.
Thanks, Steph. Can you hear me okay first?
Yes, I can.
Awesome, cool. Well, thanks again for that information there. Great stuff. And thanks to everybody being on the call today. But let's talk about the ease of processing business with Synergy and how we can make things easier for everybody during this challenging time. And we'll start with e-applications. This one's going to be the most important. Simply put, you're not going to be able to travel to your client's home. You're not going to be able to travel to your client's work, and they're not going to be able to come to you. So this makes e-apps very important today. We have e-apps, electronic apps. They're available via iGo iPipeline, which is accessed through our website. You will need to register for our website if you haven't done so already. The link is right there, www.sbkg.com. Upper right says member resources. If you're not a member, so just register real quick. If you let Steph and myself know, that'll only speed up the process and we'll give you access right away. But once you're in there, you'll need to go back to member resources, click on the new business and forms link, and then right there is going to be a link that says IGO or electronic applications. So once you click that link, and then you'll be brought to IGO. Again, you'll need to sign in. This is a different login. If you're not registered, you'll need to register real quick. This is an instant access, so once you register, you'll be able to get access right away, and then you'll come to a main page where it says start a new case or view my cases. The site is very user-friendly. Steph and myself are more than happy to do a one-on-one training with you, or there's some useful training tips that are just in the upper right-hand corner of the main IGO page that you can get help on. You'll see once you start a new case, you enter in your basic client information, you enter in a state, and then you enter a product. You will see that some carriers have more than one option. You may see like a long or full application with Principal, for example. What that is, it's identical. It's identical to a full paper application, just in electronic format. An e-signature will be required on that. You may also see something along the lines of a quick form or a drop ticket, Principal calls it. Those are abbreviated applications. They require less work, just some basic information is filled out, and that drop ticket is then sent to the carrier. The carrier will then contact the client either phone or email to complete the rest of the application there. Like I said, we're willing to do one-on-one with you guys. The IGO system, I believe, is fairly easy. If you've ever done anything, any form before on the internet, which I'm assuming all of us have, I think the best practice is to just do a practice app on yourself, just to see how it works. One important note on there is you can get stuck if you don't know something. It just won't let you move forward. What we suggest doing is, either putting some zeros in there or just putting NA. That should let you move forward in the app. Some advisors have also asked us if you can do an e-application with the owner and insured being different or third-party ownership. Most carriers do allow for that. Some don't. There are a few here and there. But the best thing to do is just reach out to us if you have any questions. We'll move on real quick. During these times, if you can find an examiner to go out and examine your clients, you're also going to need to find a client that's willing to allow an examiner into their home. Seeming more and more impossible right now. So that's going to bring us to accelerated underwriting. We're seeing a huge need for this. Accelerated underwriting is examless, it's fluidless, there are no APSs, it's really just an MIB check, a script check, but we're finding it's essential right now in this work from home environment like we're living in today. We're finding that carriers are lightening their requirements for accelerated underwriting. In the past, they've had limits of $1 million. But they're working with us. For example, Principal has increased their max death benefit limit to $2.5 million. National Life has gone up to $2 million. Penn Mutual's ACE program, which is only on their website, but you can access their electronic app through their website or through their Producers Place platform. But they can go up to $5 million. That's huge, guys, for something that's examless, and a client never needs to leave their house for $5 million of coverage. Is pretty good. But we expect carriers or more carriers are going to make changes to their requirements, and we're going to keep you up to speed on all these. In fact, Synergy has already jumped out. We've created an accelerated underwriting cheat sheet that has all the carriers on there we work with and their specific requirements. This is available on our website. We've also been sending it out in a couple of our recent email blasts. I urge you to check that out. Like I said, we're going to be updating that as frequently as possible. One last thing about accelerated underwriting, it's important to set expectations with your client. Accelerated underwriting is available, but it's really only there, it's only intended for healthy clients. There's a chance the client could be denied and pushed through full underwriting. We find that it's best to just be upfront with the client and let them know that could happen, but really don't even suggest accelerated underwriting if you know that the client is really older or has some health issues. So, moving on to our next bullet point, the ability to accept EFT forms for initial payment. pretty much know that carriers allow for EFT, and most policies are going to come with an EFT form for that initial payment. But I wanted to point out during this time, it's very difficult to send a physical check if your clients are looking to do that. Carriers are really cutting back on their mail staff as everybody is working from home and they don't have a mail staff. So if the client must send a check, just make sure you set expectations with them. Maybe suggest another route, but let them know that it could take a little while longer. Moving on to web and mobile quoting, you guys can run quotes through our website. I know quite a few advisors are already taking advantage of this, but once you get into our members resources page, there is a link there to run your own quotes. You can also download the Synergy Life app to run your quotes. You're right at your fingertips there. That's available on the Apple App Store or Google Play. Of course, Steph and myself are always available to assist you with quotes as well. Just wanted to let you know that those were options. With DocuSign and e-signature capabilities, it's certainly going to make all of our lives easier. DocuSign is an extremely useful program. Synergy is set up for DocuSign and e-signatures. I know not everybody is. Carriers are becoming more and more accepting of DocuSign, especially during this crisis. So reach out to Steph or myself or your case manager to see if DocuSign can be used for one of your cases. Second to last point here, e-deliveries of policies. Most carriers have gone entirely remote, as I've been saying, where all their employees are work from home and they have a skeleton crew, basically. So most are not mailing policies at all. They're either sending them by email or e-delivery. This isn't new. It's not a new practice. Principal has been forcing e-delivery on term for some months. But if you do need a physical copy of that policy, just reach out to us. We'll work with you or work with the carriers, and we'll get you that physical hard copy of that policy. But the goal is to really not mail anything right now, just because we don't know how long it's really going to take. Do have a quick tip for you guys. Genius Scan and TurboScan. TurboScan is one I've been using for a while, but Genius Scan is also available. It's a free app for your smartphone. It allows for multiple page PDF to be completed just on your smartphone. You can take a picture of a couple pages or really of a whole application, and it'll just combine a multi-page PDF that you can send right from your phone to your email and then forward it to us or send directly to us. But this is great. It allows you to just get a clear image of your form and see pages more clearly, because if you do a picture, they don't always come out as nicely as we want them to. They're either a little blurry or they're chopped off or they're sideways. And carriers, a lot of times, if that form number isn't at the bottom of the page, they're not going to accept it. So take advantage of these free apps. I know I do. I know a lot of advisors do. They're very easy to use. So for the most part, really service levels haven't gone down with the carriers. Not that we've noticed anyways. They've really done a great job of sort of weathering this storm the best they can. I think, really mailing is really the only thing that's really lacking. But we're lucky in a sense where we're living in a time where technology is advanced. Our last reminder here is to just make sure you guys are contracted and appointed with us before you do solicit any application. You can contact myself, Stephanie, or Jessica Nichols in our licensing department. But with that, I'm going to flip it back to Steph.
Thanks, Josh. Really appreciate this. Is such great information, and really want to reiterate everything that you've said regarding the ease of doing business. Call us. We are the experts in the fluidless programs, the acceleration programs, the e-applications, the e-deliveries. We really are the one-stop shop, and we can definitely help you with case design and illustration support as well in these challenging environment that we are. But we want to wish everybody to be well and to stay safe. And please let us know if there's anything that Synergy Life Brokerage can do. Thanks very much today.
Thank you, guys.